Hey everyone, I'm back. So I'm talking today about why is God the Father? And I'll be honest that I'm not feeling too great today. I've got a bit of a cold and I feel like in a funny headspace, so everything I say now has to come straight from God because I don't feel like I've got too much good stuff in me today to say and talk about, but He's good and He's faithful, so I'm sure this will touch someone in some way. To preface this, when I talk about it, I need to say that everyone has a very different experience of an earthly father. Some have been absent, might have been disengaged, you might have had an abusive father, or you could have had a really incredible father. And so I don't want to avoid the fact that this can be a very sensitive topic for some people. So please know that I'm trying to say this with as much sensitivity as possible. And to be honest, it's not my first choice of topic because of that fact. I don't want to offend and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But when I was praying about it, this is what I felt God asked me to talk about. And all I kept hearing God say was, just tell them that I love them. I was like, cool God, but can we get some structure on that? So here's the 3 things that I kind of put structure to that love you. The first thing being that a father protects. Again, not everyone has had this experience of a father who protects them, but God is the perfect father who loves his children, who loves you, will protect you. I'm going to read from Psalm 18, verse 3-6, and 17 and 19. It says, I called to the Lord who is worthy of praise, and I have been saved from my enemies. The cords of death entangled me, the torrents of destruction overwhelmed me. The cords of the grave coiled around me, the snares of death confronted me. In my distress, I called to the Lord. I cried to my God for help. From his temple, he heard my voice. My cry came before him, into his ears. He rescued me from my powerful enemy, from my foes who were too strong for me. He brought me out into a spacious place. He rescued me because he delighted in me. What I really love about that is that it doesn't say that God prevents bad things happening to us, but it does say that he can protect us in them. And it's so true if we think about earthly fathers, and what they should do is that protect us from things that can be dangerous or harmful, but it's not to say that they'll prevent bad things happening. And it's the same with God. He's never promised that bad things aren't going to happen to you, but he does promise protection in that. So he's the perfect father because he protects. Then a father should adore. There is nothing and no one more precious than you and me. And yes, I can say that to every single one watching this video, because there is only one of you. There's no one more precious than you, because there's only one of you. Matthew 10 verse 29-31 says, what's the price of a pet canary? Some loose change, right? And God cares what happens to it even more than you do. He pays even greater attention to you, down to the last detail, even numbering the hairs on your head. So don't be intimidated by all this bully talk. You're worth more than 1,000,000 canaries. I just love that, because it's like he sees you, he chooses you, and he chooses to love you and adore you. He made you. The one of you that there is, God absolutely adores as the Father. So the last one is that a father lavishes love. I'm going to put this in a story because I was thinking about it yesterday, and it actually brought tears to my eyes when I thought of it like this. Say there was a perfect earthly father, and he had a son who he loved so much, adored, a blood child. And then there were a few orphans outside on the street, And this father just loved them so much. Even knowing, though, that they couldn't offer him anything other than accepting that they would be his children if he adopted them, and accepting the son as their brother, and just loving their father. That's literally all they could offer if this dad were to adopt these kids. So say that he does that and he says, okay, I'm going to adopt these children. And the son's like, cool, I'm in. What do I need to do? And the dad says, you need to go and live with them, become like them, and then die, and then they can become my children. Like, if I think about it, what earthly father would actually do that? To say, I love those kids so much that I would ask you, my blood child, to die so that I can have them in my house because I love them that much. That is the story of our salvation. That is the story of God's love for us as children. In Romans 5 verse 6 to 8 it says, you see, at just the right time, when we were still powerless, Christ died for the ungodly. Very rarely will anyone die for a righteous person, though for a good person someone might possibly dare to die. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, in other words, there was nothing good about us, Christ died for us. In the story that I told, we are the orphans, and he is the perfect father. All we can offer is our love and our acceptance of the fact that, okay, I will be your child, you will be my father. His love is so strong for us. God's love is so strong for us that he would give his own son to adopt us as children into his family because he loves you that much. He loves you. So, it's amazing, and I get a little bit flustered talking about this because when I picture it like that, it's like a love like that doesn't make sense, but it's real and it's true, and it's already been done. All we have to do is accept God as that father and accept that he sent his son for us. So if you need more clarity on this, if this is like stirring something in your heart and you're like, wait, I have questions, I need to talk about that, please let me know. I'd be super happy to chat more about it. But for now, be encouraged that no matter what you do, who you are, no matter what earthly father you've had and the experience of him, our God is the perfect father who does protect, who does adore you, and who does lavish his love on you as his child. I'll see you next week.